If you're using the We Are Memory Keepers tassel loom the way they show you to in the video, then you're doing it all wrong. Keep watching if you want to see my best tips and tricks to how to get professional, perfect looking tassels every time. I love adding tassels to projects. They really give a professional finish to lots of handmade things. You can add them to scarves, shawls, blankets, even use them to adorn your tree or gifts for the holiday season. Now, I recently purchased this We Are Memory Keepers tassel loom to test it out and see how good it is, and it's actually pretty good. But the way they show you to use it in the video tutorial that you get on their website or when you buy it from Amazon, I wasn't really very happy with the way my tassels came out, so I played around with it and I think I found the best way to use this. Now, you can use any yarn you like. I'm using some double knit today, but you can use any yarn. I've made tassels with some old scarf yarn that I had lying around. You can use string or twine to make your tassels, any weight you like. So we're going to begin. You've got a little notch here where you can just pop your yarn in to hold it in place. And then you're going to wrap your yarn round. Just keep wrapping around your loom until you have as many strands as you need. After numerous yarn boff attacks, I've now got 30 wraps. I think we're going to go with that. Now I'm going to use a piece of twine to tie the head of my tassel, like this one here. These ones are going to be used for my granny stitch stocking, so if you want to check out that video, I will link that below. So cutting it longer than I think I might need it, because I am going to be using it to tie onto the stocking as well as to tie the tassel. Okay, so now in the video, so they tell you to tie it around here, which leaves one end of your tassel longer than the other, which, okay, you can trim it, but then there are other problems that arise as well. So what I suggest you do is just go kind of diagonally across the bar, and then you're going to tie a knot, a surgeon's knot, so you're doing one extra wrap around, and then you're going to tie it here. Now what the video tells you to do is then fold this over. You will then trim the ends, tie your head off as well here. But this also, I don't know if you can see, this, there's a gap here between where this strand is and this strand. When you finish your tassel, the head of the tassel looks a bit weird, so I'm going to show you a trick how you can stop that from happening. So before we do this, I am going to pop this little metal bar out and just simply take it out of the tassel and then put it underneath all of the strands and pop it back in. Now all of your strands are tied nice and you can just tighten that a little bit. Now when we bend this over, everything is nice and neat and caught underneath here. So now I'm going to take another piece of twine to tie off the head of the tassel. You can use yarn for this, you don't have to use twine. Now I'm making a loop with a tail pointing upwards, like this, and I'm going to hold this where I want the yarn strands to go around the top of the tassel, with this end pointing upwards. You're then going to start winding this around. Keep your thumb holding that loop and that end, so you're going to go around again. This time I'm going to pull that tighter, and you're going to wrap around a few times, each time pulling it tight. And I'm going to do one more, and then you're going to bring this end around, and where you have this loop here, you're going to thread your end through the loop, then hold on to the other end and pull really tight, and this ties a knot that is underneath all of those loops and it makes it really secure. like so. Now if this was just normal yarn, you could leave this bit hanging and then just trim this end off. If you want, you can tie an extra knot and then tuck your ends in. Because I'm going for a rustic look here, I'm just going to trim mine. Then all we need to do is just trim these ends. You can then pop the little bar out. You can then go ahead and tie an extra knot at the top, because we've only got one knot there so far, to make that completely secure. And then you can use these ends to tie your tassel to whatever you're going to be using, or to hang them on the tree if you want to use them as tree decorations. So we're going to just trim off these ends, just kind of straighten them out, give them a bit of a trim. Like so. And I'm going to add some tassels. I'm going to add some beads to mine. So these are going on stockings. Just threading through. These natural beads have got quite a large aperture, they're quite easy to thread on. However, these darker beads are a bit smaller, so if you've got smaller beads you can thread your yarn or your twine onto a needle if you need to. There you have your finished tassel. These tassels are going on my granny stitch stockings. Why don't you watch that video next? Bye bye now.